And we have a addition to the evening before we introduce the MIGOP chairs. Bernadette Smith is here, so we're going to give her 5 minutes to introduce herself. She's running with Jim Runstead as the vice chair. So.
Well, it's a blessing to be here. I want to start off by saying we are here to build up and not to tear down. So as we move forward in this race, we're not here to tear down, but we're here to build up. A little bit about myself. I'm a mom of 8. We have, yes, and I married the love of my life, Pastor Philip Smith, who's just such a blessing to us. We have one child who went to heaven. I want to say this. I was a Gerald R. Ford woman, Republican Club chair lady, and also I was the vice chair. I was weaponized by the government, so I know exactly how it feels to be weaponized by the left. But I raised my children in the midst of all of that. But I didn't raise them to be victims. I walked them through them and showed them how to be victorious. And to this day, they're all best friends and working for the conservative values. I want to also say this. As ethnic vice chair, I traveled the state of Michigan for 4 years, and I raised the money. I didn't wait on the MIGOP to find money for me. I went out and I raised it. And I went to just about every county, a lot of counties in the state of Michigan, from Marquette and all over. And during these rallies, they were very effective. I even brought Hema, invited her several times to the rally, Pete Huckster several times, and they had an open invitation. And they did a great job when they spoke at these rallies. Many people said, I'm from Detroit. I went to Mary Grove College. I left Mary Grove College to work for Ford Motor Credit Company as a credit investigator and insurance clerk. Then I went on to marry my husband and have 8 children, which is I love being a mom. One of the best things I would tell my kids for years, I would do it over again if I had to. But I guess I'm moving into other things. So we're going to wait on the grandkids. But I raised the money. But I want to say, many people said, I'm from Detroit too, from Detroit. They would say, you don't want to go to Detroit. You don't want to go to Dearborn. I had people tell me, don't go there. You might get shot. You might get killed. And I said, that's exactly where I want to go. And many of you all know we held a rally, and all of the rallies were very effective. We had 300, 500, 900, 1,000 people attend the rallies in Dearborn. We had tons of Muslims that were there and other. And what was so beautiful about it, we invited Tudor Dixon, we invited just Matt DePerno and everyone. And that event changed the trajectory of the governor's race for Tudor Dixon. It was amazing. Then I went on to call Dr. Amir in Hamtramck. This is a year and a half before anybody even knew really who he was, or he wasn't in the limelight. And I called him and said, Dr. Amir, I want to meet with you. And I met with Dr. Amir, and we prayed together. My husband came with me. We prayed together in his office. And he began to share with us about the 100,000 uncommitted Muslims. And we went to bat in prayer. We communicated often, him and I. And then he went on and he said, Bernadette, if President Trump comes here, I'm positive we can turn this around. Make a long story short, Rola McAnally, her last name, Rola, she also helped me plan the Dearborn event. Well, he came, and I was at another event when he came, but you the history. Dr. Amir endorsed him, and it was just amazing. I also organized a 40 Muslim leaders in the state of Michigan. I organized that in Hamtramck. They all came together, and General Flynn flew down to speak with them. That was very effective. So that helped President Trump win Michigan. It was just amazing. But we can never do this alone. We always have to have a team. Is that not correct? It's so important. I worked very closely with Tom Homan. Tom Homan was my boss. Yes, very much so. And we communicate. I communicate with him. He's a dear friend of mine. And if you ask him, he'll tell you. And if he could endorse, he would. But I want to say this right now. I know what it's like to be persecuted, but yet persevere through as a party and stand for truth. I helped Dick DeVos during his race. I helped Terry Lynn Land during his race. I took little kids. We went door to door for Dave Hildenbrand and so forth. I've been in this a long time, fighting for conservative values. In spite of the accusation, in spite of the ridicule, we have to have thick bones and look at the goal. The goal is to beat Democrats. Well, not when I say beat Democrats, Democrats are wonderful people. The leftists are the ones that we're after, the ones that are into the DEI, the critical race theory, and all this garbage, right? So we want to bring them into our party. Thank you, Brendan. But I want to say that just to you, I'm not just a Johnny come lately. I know how to win. I know how to win Detroit, and I know how to win the African American vote. I know how to win just humanity. I'm not about black or white. Many people ask me why, but I'm about humanity. And if we stop, we need not focus on color. We need to focus on humanity. And I want to say this to you, Jim Brunstad, he'll talk for himself. But I want you to know, if you vote for us, we will see to it that this party remain unified. I've worked with Bill Schuette. Cynthia Schuette is a dear friend of mine. We prayed together for years and years, and it goes on and on and on. Turning Point, have a very good relationship with him. They endorsed me in my RNC race. They didn't know I was going to run for this as co-chair. At the time, I didn't either. But I want you to know, it's time for us to rise up together and focus on those things that unite us and rise above those things that are trying to divide us, and keep your mouth off each other. Just run your race. Each and every one of us, run your race and let the delegates decide. And I pray in the name of Jesus that we all do what's right and help win this city, this state for Jesus. Thank you so much, and be blessed.
Thank you, Bernadette. Okay, we are going to take a 5-minute break.